Hey guys, how you doing? Back with more Elden Ring tips. These are some tips for beginners. Some of these tips may seem pretty basic to you guys, but I've still seen countless Twitter and Reddit threads asking these kind of questions and people being surprised by them. So we're just going to throw some of these out here. If they help you, great. If you already know them, good for you. Let's start with map tips. So if you open up your map, and now, the great thing about this is that all these tips are listed at the bottom of the screen basically, but there's still a lot of people not noticing them, right? First thing is you can mark your map with markers. You can see I'm playing on the PlayStation, so down at the bottom of the screen, there's a marker button with the square. So I can use square on my screen anywhere I want to put down these different style of markers. You can put up to 100. You can create your own little system of which icon you want to use for whatever objective it is you're trying to track. Secondly, you can put down beacons. So beacons, you can put down up to 5 beacons. You can see on the PlayStation, it's the X button. Whatever system you're playing on may vary, but you can put up to 5. And the great thing about beacons is that they show up on your compass and out in the world. So I can see those beacons in the distance, see them on my compass, and head directly towards them. The third tip is you can see that with the triangle button, I can look at sites of grace. So if I hit that, it brings up sites of grace by geographical region. I can scroll through the geographical regions, look at these sites of grace, and teleport directly to them without having to select them directly on my map. And along with that is the next tip, is that you can see down there, now that I've got this list up, the context at the bottom has changed, and I can press the right 3, so my right analog stick click, to mark that site of grace. So you can mark sites of grace, and then you can see that it's also changed, so triangle now toggles that list. If I hit triangle again, then I see only my marked sites of grace instead of all of them. So you can mark specific sites of grace, maybe that are either your favorites or that you travel to often, and quickly pull those up in the list. And last map tip, but certainly not least, is that once you have the site list up like this, you can see at the bottom there is a quick button to go to the round table hold. So on the PlayStation, again, it is square. I hit that, I can go directly to the table of lost grace at the round table hold and not have to scroll my map all the way down here. So this next tip, very generic tip, but people are missing it. I even missed it myself when I first came through here. So at the very beginning of the game, one of the first structures you're going to see as you come out of the cave is this Church of Ellah here in front of us. This vendor here, he sells a crafting kit. I've already purchased it. Obviously, it's gone. You need to buy that crafting kit to be able to craft items. If you do not buy it, you will not be crafting any items, no matter how many recipes you attain. So make sure you buy this crafting kit. It's only 300 runes. Should be able to get it fairly easy. But if you don't get it, no crafting for you. One more super basic tip. When you're resting at a site of grace and you go to level up, just a hint for a lot of people, this level up screen, the attribute points here, those are your base points. They do not reflect any gear you are wearing, any bonuses you are getting from anything else. Those are always the base. Some people I've seen get a little confused by that. There you go. Okay guys, 2 quick combat tips, or I should just maybe say weapon tips, but just make sure you know how to two-hand your weapon. Once again, I'm playing on the PlayStation, so these buttons may be slightly different for you. So triangle button from the PlayStation is kind of the confirmation button. So that button also lets me bring up this context switch menu, right? My quick pouch. So whatever button you use to do that, if you hold that button down and then you press your light attack, that makes your character two-hand your weapon. Press it again to go back to one-handing. Now this next combat skill is a little bit more advanced than the previous one, but it's nothing crazy, but it's something that beginners might not know right away. So let's go ahead and look at my 2 shields real quick. You can see my Ash of War skill on this shield is the parry ability, which is the first shield ability most of you are going to see. You can see that this brass shield has the no skill ability, and then you can see that my scythe has the angel's wings ability. Now if I put on the shield that has parry and I'm one-handing that scythe, you can see if I hit the left-handed strong attack button to activate the skill, my guy parries. So in order to use this weapon's special ability, I have to two-hand it. But if we put on the shield that has the no skill ability, or the no skill Ashes of War, now I can use my weapon's special ability without having to two-hand the weapon. That was a game changer for me on this scythe, guys, so it's a really good tip to practice that if it's necessary. Some weapons and shields, maybe you don't care, but it can definitely come in handy to be able to use that special skill on the weapon while one-handing. Alright, for our last set of tips, guys, we're going to be on the mount. first two are super basic, but once again, I have seen people not know about them. One is that you can use your dodge button to sprint on the horse. Yes, of course you can sprint on the horse, you numbskull. Press that dodge button or the run button and sprint. 2, you can double jump. Hit the jump button twice while in the air and you'll get a little extra height. Next tip, you can attack on both sides of your mount. You can swing right and left, both light attacks and heavy attacks. Just press the right or left-handed attack buttons. And last, but certainly not least, it took me a while to figure this one out. A lot of people are thinking you can only use your right-handed weapon while on your mount because your left-handed attack button does the left-handed swing like we just talked about. But if you use that same button combination we talked about earlier to switch to two-handing your weapon when you're on the ground, if you do that same button combination on your mount, you will pull out your left-handed weapon, and then you can use your right-handed attacks to use that left-handed weapon. Great for casting spells or shooting a bow while on a horseback. Thank you guys so much for watching. If the video helped you out at all, please give it a thumbs up. Helps me out. Subscribe if you want to see more. Love you guys, and we'll see you next time.